Hello everyone, it's Cameron again. Now today we're going to make a video which we were not expecting to make this week, or one that we didn't think we were going to do, but when these things happen you have to really do it. And now, as I'm sure many people will know, this week we lost a singer and musician, and that is of course Loaf, at the age of 74 on Thursday and Friday. I found myself very shocked by the news, I've never really been a bit of a big Meatloaf fan. I do like him, and I like some of his music, and I like his songs, but that never meant I've been a non-fan. Just really a casual music listener, and somebody that likes rock music obviously knows of Meatloaf because of the impact he's had on rock music. I've been learning a bit about his life. He was born Michael Lee Ardy, born in Dallas in 1947. He had quite a difficult upbringing. He was an only child. His father was an alcoholic, and used to give Meatloaf some pretty good beatings. And then he lost his mother to cancer when he was only 18 or 19. And then he moved to Los Angeles from Dallas to sort of escape Texas. And he then became an actor, started auditioning for Broadway. And while he was in Broadway, he met songwriter and composer Jim Steinman. And that would lead to making the album Bat Out of Hell in 1977. Now, Meatloaf was a big rock and roll fan and always achieved a dream in music. And meeting Jim Steinman and making Bat Out of Hell really achieved it. And the album was a big album. However, it very nearly didn't happen because both Meatloaf and Jim had tried to get record deals, tried to get a record label that would release the album, but people kept turning it down. And then eventually Epic Records and Cleveland International Records heard the album and took it on, and it came out in 1977, and upon its release it sold loads and loads of copies, and it is a great album. I do agree it is a great album, albeit I've never been a big Meatloaf fan. It is a really great album. I do like a lot of the songs off it. The title track, and of course the hits like Hot Summer Night or 2 Out of 3 Ain't Bad, and I also like Heaven Can Wait, and that's a good song. Same thing for Paradise with the Dashboard Light's good as well. And yeah, there are great songs of this album. And even a couple of musicians from Bruce Springsteen's E Street Band appeared on it, Roy Bittan and Max Weinberg. So yeah, great album, 1977. I even went and saw the stage show recently, Bat Out of Hell, the musical at the Kings in Glasgow, because recently I've been kind of into Jim Steinman's solo album. If I can find it, hang on. Which is just... find it. Oh, got it. I've just got it here. Because I've been into that album a lot, and I thought, well, I'll get into Meatloaf's one as well. And I actually had Bat Out of Hell before, out of a record collection years ago, and I heard it, I really liked it. And then when Jim Steinman passed away, I got into his album, and sort of heard that. And I've quite liked, Meatloaf. And the Bat Out of Hell stage show was a great show. And I even bought a hits compilation, because really the hits would do me good for Meatloaf, which is this one called Hits Out of Hell. However, it kind of doesn't go up to I Would Do Anything for Love, but I Won't Do That in 1993, that's another great song. And so is Rock and Roll Dreams Come Through. But there are songs I do like as well. Other ones, as well as the songs on Bat Out of Hell. But that's never meant I've been a non-fan in many ways. But then Bat Out of Hell was very successful. It sold loads of copies, like I say. And then Meatloaf began to tour the album. And after the tour, they came off the road, and the record company were wanting them to make a follow-up album. And work had started when Meatloaf, however, lost his voice as a result of the combination of exhaustion, drugs, and touring. And then by 1980-79, he suffered a nervous breakdown, and then recording was shelved. And then Jim Steinman didn't want the songs to go unheard, so he did them himself on this album called Bad for Good, which I really like. And Meatloaf would later go on to do these songs. Things like, Lost Boys and Golden Girls, Out of the Frying Pan in the Fire, Rock and Roll Dreams Come Through were on the sequel Bat Out of Hell 2 in 1993, which had the big hit I Would Do Anything for Love, But I Won't Do That, which I mentioned earlier. And that's a great one too, great song. Bad for Good was good. He did Bad for Good on Bat Out of Hell 3 in 2006. So yeah, Meatloaf has made other albums as well as Bat Out of Hell, but I think public are going to remember him the most for Bat Out of Hell. Yeah, I'm really at a loss for words. Albeit I was never a diehard, it's still quite a big shock. But it's unfortunate that we're living in an era where so many greats or people we've loved over the years are passing away or have passed away. I mean, a few years ago we lost Tom Petty, but recently there's been a big lot of greats passing. I mean, Eddie Van Halen passed away a couple of years ago, but then last year we had Jim Steinman, of course, Don Everly of the Everly Brothers, Charlie Watts of the Rolling Stones, Mike Nesmith of the Monkees, Glenn Campbell a few years ago. There's been quite a lot. It's unfortunate we're living in an era, but we've got the music of Bat Out of Hell will live on, I'm sure, and I'm sure it'll be one of those albums that'll, in generations, be talked about and remembered. And I actually thought about reviewing these albums for a while, and maybe I will review them eventually. But yeah, it's just kind of unfortunate this video is a bit of a downer topic, but it's kind of reflecting on Meat Loaf's music career and as well as his life in a way, Meat and Jim did do 2 further Bat Out of Hell albums. Bat Out of Hell 2 in 1993, like I say, and Bat Out of Hell 3 in 2006. So, yeah, 3 albums. And then Meat and Jim did work on one more thing together in 2016. I just can't remember the name of it now, but I know they did something together fairly recent before Jim passed and before Meat passed as well. So, yeah. So anyways, that's really all I've got to say. Hopefully the next videos might be a bit more upbeat since I've got a vinyl update quite soon, since I've bought quite a lot of things over the last while. So hopefully the next video will be much more cheery. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you thought of Meat Loaf, if you liked his music, if you were a fan or whatever. Thanks for watching, and rest in peace, Meat Loaf.